We saw him in action at UFC 209, his middleweight debut. Wanted to talk to him about that, where he goes from here, what's next, all that good stuff and more. He joins us on the phone. Rashad, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, Ariel? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for the time. I really appreciate you coming on. So here we are around 9 days removed from the fight against Daniel Kelly. How are you digesting it all? What are your thoughts 9 days removed?
I'm still disappointed, but at the same time, it is what it is. You just have to just accept it. And I feel like there's a lot of things I could have done better in that fight, but at the end of the day, I choose to take the positive away from it and just work on some of the areas where I feel like I need to get better.
How did you feel as a middleweight for the first time in there? I mean, strength-wise, your body, quickness, all that stuff.
Yeah.
How did you feel in there physically?
I felt pretty good in there physically. It just took me, a while to get warmed up. I don't, just not being in the cage enough. Not being knocked out enough. It definitely just has it's toll on you as a fighter, just because you're not used to being active and don't have the like the timing down, the competitive timing for just getting in the rhythm to go out there and be close to catching your second win, so that when you come out there and you fight, you're like super ready. I didn't really get feel like I was really warmed up to probably about midway through the second round.
Because of the weight cut, or because of the time off, or a mixture of both?
I don't know. I just it just took me a while to get. I wouldn't say it's because of the weight cut. The weight cut, I felt pretty good. I felt like I had spring in my legs, and I was worried about that more than anything. I was worried about cutting a lot of weight and then my legs feeling heavy the next day. But I felt like my legs, they felt pretty good. It's just that I don't feel like I had my timing right. So I went out there and didn't, feel like I was catching my second win. And, that's how I normally feel like when I get ready to fight. Normally, when I'm in a good competitive rhythm, I feel like I'm just about to catch my second win as I'm walking out to the fight. And then as the fight starts, then I'm, already pretty warmed up. But not till like maybe in the mid-second round, I started to really, feel like I was, getting warmed up.
Was Daniel Kelly tougher than you thought he would be?
Yeah, he was tougher because he was difficult. He's a difficult, not a typical southpaw. Typically speaking, with a southpaw, you'll circle to their right, my left. But with Daniel, he was kind of tricky, because if I just circled to the way he's supposed to circle, he had like this little tricky foot sweep that he'd do. So I would have to back out and then circle where he couldn't trip my foot. But then he was putting so much pressure on at the same time, it would have seemed like I was running. So I was like, I just gotta move to the right when I can, and then try to mix up the movement. But I just felt like I could catch him up the middle.
Okay. And then as far as like Thursday going into Friday, that first time getting down to 185, and I know you told me that you didn't have a nutritionist. How difficult was it?
It was a lot more difficult than I thought.
Huh.
It was just it was just a different feeling than I'm used to when I cut from 205. 205, I got a different kind of rhythm, but at 185, it was just different altogether. I felt like I felt the dips in the energy, and I was like, wow, this is the weight cut is definitely a lot more real than it is at 205. But I was surprised that I did feel as well as I did. I thought that I'd be completely drained on Thursday, but I still had a bit of energy, and it had its good moments and bad moments, to say.
Something about the hair. I think the hair was a little longer, and your lean body. You looked a lot younger.
Yeah, I had the hair long. This whole cat, man. I just this was just like and I ain't worried about my hair or nothing like that. So I was just letting it grow, and just, the more people told me I need to cut it, the more I was just like, what the hell, I'm going to keep it. And
F those people.
And that's what happened. So I just, I went out there and I felt, I know that, I was kind of disappointed in my performance, just because I didn't perform the way that I feel like I really could have. I feel like, just getting in a good competitive rhythm, just being out there more than just one time a year.
Yeah.
My next performance would be 10 times better. It's really, really hard to compete with these guys who are competing every few months if you're not competing at all.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who you are, it's just a competitive rhythm. Being out in the octagon, the feel of it, feeling comfortable in the cage, and when you feel comfortable in the cage, it allows you to just fight and just really, and not second guess or contemplate your next move, and you're just out there and you're in free mode, and that's what I need to do. I need to just go back out there and fight as soon as possible.
Are you going to stick around at 185 for your next fight?
Yeah, honestly, I felt like when I was out there, I felt like it's where I should have been for a long time. To be honest, I love 205, and I had some great fights at 205, but I think that 185 is definitely where I need to be. I feel like I can. I feel like once I get into my rhythm, I can do some things here. And it's really hard to say that after you coming off a loss, and but at the end of the day, I gotta keep perspective on things. I haven't been busy when it comes to competing and stuff like that, so that has a toll on the kind of the kind of results that I get, and I'm gonna definitely do my best, and stay as busy as I can. Because at the end of the day, I do want to fight, and I do want to test myself and compete against the best. And the only way to really, give myself what I feel is my best chance is to just stay busy, compete.
Okay, so obviously you want to be busy. You've said that a few times. I know you talked to your manager, Lee Abdelaziz, about getting right back in there. As we sit here and talk today, do you have your next fight? And if you don't have your next fight yet, let's put it out there. What do you want?
I do not have my next fight yet.
Okay.
There were some talks before the Kelly fight about Anderson, and that fight is still out there. It's a fight that I want.
Oh, all right.
There's a lot of people. Honestly speaking, to just be 100% honest,
Please.
I just want to compete, man. And it sounds just like a boring, cliche statement, but I just really want to compete, and whether it's against, I guess Elias Theodora was talking, and he's talking a bit of trash and stuff like that, or he was saying he wanted a piece or whatever. I honestly, I don't care, man. I just want to fight, and I want to go, because the hardest thing in the world is to lose a fight and then have the world tell you how you need to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to sit back because, I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't always go out there and compete, at my high, the highlight moments. You know what I'm saying? And but it's just what happens. It's just what it is. But when I do not fight the way that I could fight, then I gotta hear everyone, including my mom, talking about how I need to compete.
She called you after this one?
Yeah, you know my mom, man.
What'd she say?
Rashad, you gotta let it go, Rashad. Rashad, you just gotta be. Remember when you used to go out there? And I'm just like, yeah. People want to tell me about my own highlights and my own great fights like I wasn't a part of it. You know what I'm saying? And I need to be reminded. But I get it. I get it. It just sucks being in the position that I am right now, and then having, to hear it. But I guess it's just the price of losing.
So you're essentially open to anyone.
I mean, I hear it. I don't put myself in the position where I'm, deeply listening to everyone, and I take, I know who to listen to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lost to the point where I'm just listening to every single person who has something to say and chime in. But at the same time, I do understand why they may want to say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to say something just to talk trash. Some people may say something because they may generally be concerned, But what's the funniest part to me is this right here. So people think like if I lose a fight, then something must be terribly wrong in my life. You know what I'm saying? So then now it's not even just about fighting anymore. Now it's about life advice. You know what I'm saying? What I need to be doing in my life. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I had so many people hit me up that are close to me and just like, what's going on in your life? And I'm like, I don't know what happened. They're like, well, you lost. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. One of the judges didn't think I won. And that's just the bottom line, One of them, I just didn't get the nod from the judges, and not to make light of the loss and say it is less real, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean my life is off track because I lost. You know what I'm saying?
This is an interesting byproduct of a loss that we don't often think about. We watch a fight, someone loses, we talk about it for a couple of days. We don't think about like the texts and the obviously the tweets, but the personal ones, from family members or friends who are now trying to fix your situation when all you suffered was an athletic loss, nothing more, nothing less. And that must drive you nuts. I mean, and I'm not trying to harp on it here, but the last time you won was 3.5 years ago. Is that almost like a drug now, that that feeling of getting your hand raised so that all of that can go away, so that you can make all this, this stuff, this talk around you just disappear? Because I would think one W kind of erases it all, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And that does become, the thing where you are looking to say, I got my life back on track. Look, see, I won. I mean, because for the longest time, I didn't lose. I didn't lose until I fought Machida, and I pretty much just spoiled my family and everybody who, that supported me or that was a fan of me, because I never lost. So they never really had to deal with it, and never having to deal with it, it just becomes like, yeah, Rashad must be doing great in his life because look, he's winning these fights. And then when I lose, it's like, well, he's doing terrible in his life. Something's going wrong. We need to help him out because he shouldn't lose, and I mean, at the end of the day, you fight long enough, you will lose and you will have a setback. No matter what you do in life, no matter what you do in life, you do it long enough, you're going to have a setback. You're going to have a bad day. And it's just the taxation of the process of life or anything that you put your time into. And I'm no exception to it. I would love to go out there and win the rest of my fights. But in reality, I don't know if that's even possible. But I would, I'm going to give my all to do so. But if I don't, that doesn't mean that my life is over and I'm not, who people think I am.
How much do you think about that feeling that you get when you win?
I think about it a lot. I really do. I think about it a lot just because, it's an amazing feeling, and it means for me, like everything has paid off. All the sacrifices paid off. And that's what it becomes about for me. Just whenever I go into camp and when I'm really doing everything I can to make sure I'm complete when I step into the octagon, I'm denying myself a lot of things. And then I say to myself to make it easier to be like, when I win this fight, then I can enjoy myself, and then when I don't win the fight, then it's like I can't forgive myself enough to enjoy myself. Then it's like I just wasted my time. And then I get, a little bit of, a depression. And then, you gotta pull yourself out of it. But it's hard, man. It really is hard. Now I've gotten better at losing because I haven't won in a while, but it's still a process. It's still a process. I give myself a couple of days to just kind of, to grieve over it, and then I just, get back to work.
Your name came up a lot this past weekend, and I know you said, you're open to fights. The Anderson fight, I know, is one that you wanted beforehand, and you're still open to it, obviously. Your name came up this weekend after Vitor Belfort said that he has one fight left. He wants to fight in Rio. And people said, this is a great idea. Rashad, Vitor, kind of at the same spot, 185, bit of history. Does that interest you at all?
No, it doesn't. I would never fight Vitor.
Okay.
Vitor is somebody I train with and a close personal friend. I know his family, and it's really hard to do that because fighting is unlike any other sport in a sense where it's a fight. And at some point, I'm going to have to want to do harm to him, like serious harm, in order to have my hand raised. And I just find it really hard to do with somebody that I built a relationship or have a relationship with on a personal level. So that's a fight that I wouldn't want to have.
Okay. And by the way, I know Tyrone Spong is a friend still and was in your corner. He went with the Black Zillions still. You're not with them. How did that work out is this just a matter of you have that relationship and he's going to corner you and no problems there? Or was that a tricky thing to navigate?
That's a good question, Ariel. It was no thing because, Tyrone, me and Tyrone are close. We're like brothers, honestly speaking. And it's not a term that I throw around really loosely when I'm speaking about Tyrone. But, he made a choice to stick with the Black Zillions in the team. I feel it's not a problem for me, but at the same time, I can't, say that by all parties is feels the same way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe, there's maybe some people that maybe feel like, she shouldn't be with the Black Zillions.
Uh-huh.
And, that's for them to discuss. But, for me, I don't have a problem with him being part of Black Zillions. And no matter what team he's part of, I hope to always have him in my corner. I don't want, that's the thing about it. Like, I don't want to get caught in this whole, this whole team.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the reality of the situation is this right here. This is the reality.
Okay.
I came to South Florida to have training because I got tired of being around the team. And in an effort to do that, I joined up with some other people who just left the team. Collectively together, with myself and them and other people who came down to train, we formed a team. We ended up making a team. But now the team is more of a name and controlled by, I guess, by people who I don't want. What I'm going to say. The name is Glenn's name. It's Glenn's name, it's Glenn's team, but it's not about the team. It's not about what the team was about in the beginning. The team was not about, going out there to make money, to do this, to do that. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about none of that. It was about just getting some good hard work and hard training in.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about, franchising it out and all this other stuff and, making T-shirts and all that. It wasn't even about none of that. It was about just going out there and training. And I don't care to be a part of that. I don't care to be a part of any team that's about that. I just want to go in there, get some great training in, and in my career on a great note. Everything else, they can have that.
Does it still feel like a black cloud, or do you feel like you've moved on officially, or with Tyrone and all? Like, is it impossible because you were the guy, you were the captain of the team?
There's always going to be a piece of me that that wishes things ended differently with that whole situation. But, at the end of the day, I can't allow myself to be emotionally tied to it like that,
mm-hmm.
because it is a drain. It is a drain. And, I don't believe in, I don't share the same, I guess, belief in where the team is going. So, it's kind of, better the way it is right now, but I just can't put no more emotional energy into it anymore.
Do you ever dream about, as you approach that sort of last chapter of your career, do you ever dream about going back to Albuquerque one last time, or is that not a possibility?
Yeah, of course. I thought about that, but I don't know if I would go to Jackson, to be honest. I love Greg and those guys, and Mike Winkeljohn. I had some great fights, and they've done amazing things for my career and stuff like that. But if I was to go back to Albuquerque, I would go back and train with one of the coaches who I used to train with when I was there a lot. His name was Chris Luttrell.
Mm-hmm.
I would go and train at his gym. Chris Luttrell is probably one of the best MMA coaches I ever worked with. And he's kind of always been under the radar, but he was a big backbone back in the early days of Jackson that really helped evolve my game. And if I was to go back to Albuquerque, it'd be back to train with him.
Are you considering it at all?
Yeah, I'm considering going back. The thing is, and when I was at my ultimate best, I was traveling around a lot more. But now it's like I've reached, I don't know if I got kind of old or stubborn in my ways or whatnot. I don't really like to travel too much anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe I just need to kind of break out of that. I would rather much be at home or be somewhere, where it feels like home.
Yeah.
And if I was to go somewhere, I'm definitely thinking of, going to go spend some time with Mark Henry in New Jersey, those guys over there. And, also, maybe go out to Albuquerque, even in Denver, with Trevor Whitman and those guys.
Huh.
Even at, I don't know, I'll see what, what GSP's got going on and stuff like that. But, I believe I need to just make myself, it's kind of like that nomadic training, fighting lifestyle for a little bit until I get a date. And then once I get a date, I'll know exactly where I want to do my camp at.
So it's fun. Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
It's funny.
I'm finished.
It's funny you said GSP because I was just about to say I was kind of setting it up for the idea. To me, one of the greatest scenes ever in primetime history was when you were walking down that street going into the TriStar gym. You know that one? You were the champ with the sunglasses and everything with that music. I forget what the song was, but that's just an amazing setup for your arrival. And I think it was GSP BJ Penn. I think.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was just amazing. I mean, sometimes I go back and actually just watch it. I don't know about you, but I just the music is just great.
That was.
So now he's fighting Bisping. You fought Bisping, UFC 78. Your weight class now, 185. Have you thought about this? Have you talked to him about going back to TriStar to help him out, to work together?
No, I haven't. I haven't done so. And, I really haven't really thought about it. But, it'd kind of be, I don't know, an awkward situation, to be honest, because, I'm cool with Bisping.
Okay.
Me and Bisping cool, but we never had that training relationship. But I don't want to. I guess I don't want to. Could be. I honestly, I don't really have any other experience with training with Bisping, just besides just when we fought.
Right.
But I wouldn't feel good inside if I was like, I'm gonna help you train to beat Michael Bisping. You know what I'm saying?
Because you work together at Fox and things like that, right?
Yeah, we work together at Fox, and I feel like we have a pretty good relationship. But I don't want to. I mean, I think honestly, GSP is he's very capable. Without me.
Okay.
And I'll help.
Fair enough.
But I mean, if he asks to get some work in, I'll talk. Maybe I'll talk to Bisping about it, whatever. If it's even a thing.
Okay. All right. Are you going to help Rumble for the Cormier fight? Will you be cornering him? Will you be out there? That is your neck of the woods, right? That's your town.
Yeah. I'll be out there. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go out there and support Rumble. It's a big fight, and and not often in life do we get a second chance to do. Yeah. Achieve a dream. So this is a big fight, and I hear he's looking amazing. He was looking amazing before I left, and he lost some of that weight. He was huge in training camp when I was finishing up. He was massive, absolutely massive. But I seen him, and he's lost at least 15 to 20 pounds. So he slimmed down pretty nice. But
what's the prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna be out there. It's a hard one. It's a hard one because this fight, it just pretty much breaks down to Rumble just being patient enough to find the shot. And by shot I mean punch.
Yeah.
And just being able to, sustain himself against DC's ability to go from punching to wrestling. And I think that's one thing that DC is actually perfected in his last few fights since the John Jones. Is just that punching takedown sequence that he does, where he's able to just wear guys out. And I think for AJ, it just comes down to being able to sustain himself enough where he's not, carrying a lot of and losing a lot of energy defending himself or wrestling around with DC.
All right. But you are picking. I mean, you got to pick your boy, right? But Corbin's your boy too, to a degree. But you're. I mean,
but I got to go with AJ. Though,
all right,
yeah.
all right.
I mean, yeah, DC's my boy, but I'm sticking with the home team on this.
All right, fair enough. It would be weird if you didn't.
Terrible.
Could you imagine? Holy smokes, the internet would love that. Okay, so if they say to you, "We want you to fight Anderson June 3rd in Rio," would you do it? Would you go to Rio to fight him?
Yeah, I'll go to Rio.
All right.
I'll go to Rio. No, I'll definitely go to Rio.
That's the perfect fight. That's the one you want, right?
Yeah. Listen, I'm at a point in my life and just mindset where I'm super super hungry, and I don't know if I'm upset, very upset that I lost, but at the same time, I'm thankful for it, in the respects that I don't know if I would be this hungry as I am right now if I had it.
Okay.
And for that reason, I'm thankful for it just because, this is something that I really want. And now that I've, had the setback and I put so much time and I put so much work and I still want it, that really means a lot to me.
Is this the most, I mean, they're always the most important one, the next one, but is this must win?
No, it's definitely must win. It's been must win. It's been must win for a while, but this is really must win for me. I really need to go out there and win, and just for myself more than anything. It's one thing to want to go out there because you're afraid of what people are going to say, but I think I'm beyond that point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that people, they say some crazy things to me, you know what I'm saying? You can look online, look on my Instagram or whatever, and you can just see some of the things that the people say. And it's okay. It's okay. I don't get too mad or offended by it. It is what it is. Because I know at the end of the day, it's not real. It's not real. It's none of it is real. These people, they're like the wind blowing. I can't be mad if the wind blows left or right or which way it blows. Whatever way it blows, and I just got to be ready to deal with it.
And just to be crystal clear, I mean, when you're saying it is must win, if it doesn't go your way the next fight, are you going to consider retiring?
No, I'm not going to consider retiring. I'm not going to consider retiring, but I just need this win.
Yeah.
I just really need this one.
Consistently one of the best interviews in the game. Always great to talk to you, Rashad, and I appreciate your candor after, I know, a very disappointing night for you. But I look forward to seeing you back, and it's great to see that you want to get back sooner rather than later and kind of erase this loss and the previous ones and kind of get that one to get you back on track. You look great. I really was blown away by how you looked, and I loved the hair, by the way. There was something about it. That hair, it was just, I was feeling it. I really was.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know what? I'll grow it back. I'll grow it back for you, man. I'll make it.
And maybe you rock that mustache like you did. I don't know where I saw you with a mustache one time. Didn't I see you with a mustache?
Yeah,
a movie?
Yeah, I did a movie.
Yeah.
I did a movie and I had a mustache like that. Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That was good stuff. Rashad, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking about the fight, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Rashad Evans. Man, I feel like he gets better and better as far as his interviews are concerned. Like, just some guys as they get older, GSP the same way, just more and more honest and just more willing to open up and just talk about things. That's why I always feel like fight. I mean, you saw even with Kobe Bryant, like when athletes get a little older and a little more reflective and self-aware, they become increasingly interesting as far as I'm concerned.